Set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 34. Interesting. He told us that he likes to run right more than left, but there he looked pretty comfortable going left for a big gain, Charles.
Kind of like a basketball player who has a dominant side that he dribbles to, but the ability to cross that over, change it up, and break a tendency can often lead to great results, as we just saw there.
Now a carry for Sanders. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Done. 180. Rabbit. Tight dog. Go. Kill. Turn. Go. Kill. Turn up.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
How many times do we hear from coaches, get north and south as a runner, especially in short yardage situations? I'd say 3rd and 1 counts. That didn't happen there.
Instead, they went backwards. And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Going for it with Sanders. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of that loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Let's go.
Touch. 180.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
We want this. Kill.
Mike, check. 59. Defense wins championship.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz, eluding the pressure right. That's complete right around the 8. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. A gain of 6 there on 1st. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Go. 180.
Let's go, D. Watch tight end. 4 down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown...
He's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big pickup of 38. After a one-point game, 7-6. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Prescott. Buying time to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Now Elliott. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
At the 15-yard line.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott His third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. On first down, Wentz. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield. And it's second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. And
the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Prescott to throw it. Flushed out right. He finds his target. It's Schultz. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Elliott. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Check 3.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Third and long for Prescott. He wants it all for the end zone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Check it out.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Let's go, D. Check it back.
On second down now, it's Elliott. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And a Cowboy first down.
Here we go.
Who that?
Here we go, 47. 26.
First down, Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football.
That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point good by Prater. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw, it's Wentz. Looking deep for his tight end into a double team, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
On second down, it's Elliott, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Prescott from the gun. Flushed, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Derek Barnett, his second sack of the night.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there and a first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. They'll run on first down. Turner, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like forward-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wentz. Space to run past the 20. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 16.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Jordy.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
On first down, Sanders. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. To throw on 2nd and 6. Wentz looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go, defense. Out top.
Go to 54. Go to 54. Line in.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 24 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school.
50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. Get that quarterback.
On 1st and 10, Prescott.
I got you, boy.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott to the right side. He's got Cooper. It's complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line.
1st down, Cowboys.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I'm coming.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. You got 3 down.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Check 99. Check 99. Shift.
Kill. There we go. Kill. 26.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Malcolm Jenkins, the strong safety, swoops in for the sack.
And it's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Prescott on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
We're going to 54.
Here's Prescott. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
The throw by Wentz, caught by Jackson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Check. I'm on.
Wentz now on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Now Wentz.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the night. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Here we go, back man.
59, Mike to 59.
Look at that.
They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Cowboys, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love it. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got zero. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get it. Team grabs every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in twos. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Hey. I do a good job. Pull up, pop out, and pull on. Head on and head on the metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a good one. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Hey floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what